Hi, the person with the phone number ending in 02, can I get your name, please?
Zachary Hubert.
I'm sorry, what was that again?
Zachary Hubert.
Oh, Zach, hi. Okay,
Yep.
I just wanted to, it just shows up with your phone number, so I'm gonna let the judge know that that's your name. But we're just waiting for the judge to get here. As soon as he arrives, you're number 3. So we'll take people in the order they came, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, is this Sage?
Yes, it is.
Hi, it's Mary. I'm the court clerk. You are number 4. We're just waiting for the judge to get here. As soon as he arrives, then he'll start court. But you're the 4th in line, just so you're aware. Okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Mary, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay.
My phone hung up, so that's why I'm calling back.
Okay. Is this Zach?
Yeah.
Okay. You're good. The judge is just starting now, so he'll take you as soon as he comes to your number, okay?
Okay, so I have to stay on the phone though?
Yeah, just stay there. He'll be right with
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Okay. Yep.
Hey, Mary, who is our first case?
Okay, number 1 is Angela Lee.
Okay. All right. Everybody be patient with me. I've been kind of running since early this morning. All right. Angela Lee, operating while revoked. Okay, Miss Lee, let me pull up your information. That way I've got it. All right. Okay, Miss Lee, do I have your correct address on 5th Street in Stoughton?
Yes.
Can you, I can hardly hear you. Can you speak up a little bit or turn up your microphone?
Yes, let me turn up my microphone.
Okay, you said I had the correct address?
Yes.
Okay, you're cited with operating while revoked. This, do you understand what operating while revoked is?
Yes.
Okay, means basically there's a difference between revocation and suspension, but revocation means that your license was revoked for some reason. Most common reason is usually a drunk driving case. I don't know if
Yes.
that was the case, but that's usually the
Yes.
most common. Okay,
Yes.
now this is a violation of 343-44 and an ordinance number 70-1 that adopts it. There's a forfeiture range on this. You're facing $50 plus costs. State mandates that we add cost to your citation, so it turns into a $50 ticket, ends up as 124. Jail and crime lab, other items, so that's where a lot of that goes. Now, under 343-44-1B, it's $0 to $2,500. So you're at the lower end of the scale. Do you understand that as well?
Yes.
Okay, she's nodding her head, yes, this is being
Yes.
videotaped, so just confirm that. So, all right, so those, it's 3 points issued your driver's license. You can't accumulate more than 12 within a year. Any questions for the court?
No, I just wanted to, can you hear me now?
I can't. Normally at this point, we take a plea. Your 3 plea options are guilty, no contest, or not guilty. So if you want to explain something to me, I can't really hear it because the prosecutor's not now, but if you want to enter no contest or guilty plea, then I can hear it. So let me kind of go through the plea agreements. A not guilty plea means that you don't believe that the city could prove their case, or that they wouldn't be able to meet their elements, or that you're not guilty of the offense. So if that's the case, what happens is I enter a not guilty plea, have you schedule a pretrial conference with the city attorney, a chance to tell you why you think you're not guilty. If you and the city attorney resolve it, then that I would prove, usually then they submit the resolution to me. If you can't work it out, then it goes to a trial. A guilty plea means that you're willing to accept, you're pleading guilty, admitting that you're guilty. I'll review the police report and impose an appropriate forfeiture. A no contest plea is kind of in between. You're not admitting guilt, but then you want it to be over with tonight. I usually find you guilty and impose a forfeiture. Any questions regarding those 3 plea options? Okay, are you ready to enter a plea? And what plea would that be?
No contest.
Okay, you understand with a no contest plea, I'll likely find you guilty? All right, he's nodding right, yes. Let me review the police report. I want to make sure I have a factual basis for your plea. Okay, I have reviewed the police report. I do find a factual basis for your plea, accept your no contest plea and find you guilty. Anything you'd like to say before I decide on a sentence?
Yes, I can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I was driving, I have an occupational license and I thought it covered on Sundays. It did not the day that I was pulled over, but I have since changed that. So everything
Okay,
is adjusted.
So now Sundays are available?
Yes.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I am gonna reverse that no contest plea. I'm gonna reverse the guilty plea. I am going to have you enter a not guilty plea so you can
Okay.
talk to the prosecutor, because I can't really amend the citation, but the prosecutor, if you've added Sundays since then, and I noticed according that you were on your way to work,
Mhm.
why don't you talk to the prosecutor about that and see if you guys can
Okay.
resolve it, or see if both of you can resolve the
Okay.
citation.
Okay.
So Mary, if we'll send you a notice at this address, you can appear by phone or by Zoom at that time and see if you and the city can work it out then.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, anything else, Mary? Okay, Miss Lee, that will take care of it for this evening, and thank you.
Thank you. Stay safe.
You're muted. You're muted, Mary.
Number 2 is Amber Lawler, and I'm trying to
Okay.
have her.
I'm having trouble hearing you too, so I'm gonna turn my microphone way up.
Okay.
Oh, I'm down to 4, that's why. Okay, can you say something to me now, Mary?
Hello?
Yeah,
Amber?
now, okay, you're
Okay.
great. For whatever reason, I turned the volume way down. That wasn't her fault, it was actually on my end, so. All right, number 2 is Amber Lawler.
Hey, there she is. She's unmuted now.
Okay, Ms. Lawler, this is Judge Matt Rothy in the Stoughton Municipal Court. Are you appearing by Zoom tonight? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, I can hear you, but I can't see you. So I've got multiple screens on upline. So what I'm going to do is I am going to pull up your citation first. Miss Lawler, do I have your correct address on Main Street in Edgerton?
Yes.
All right. You have an OWI. This is called operating while under the influence of an intoxicant. You've also been issued a second citation for operating with a prohibited alcohol concentration greater than 0.15. Let me explain both of those in turn. For an operating while under the influence of an intoxicant, that's also known as drunk driving. Now, you have 2 citations, but I can only penalize you on one. Let me kind of go through each citation. First of all, do you understand what operating while under the influence is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so it's basically you're operating while under the influence of alcohol and other drugs upon highway of the state or premises held out to the public while under the influence and you are operating or driving a vehicle. You're clear on those elements?
Yes.
Okay, now the face amount of the citation says $861. The forfeiture range on the citation is $150 to $300. Added to that, there's also, I believe, a $355 assessment charge. In addition to that, the state mandates that we add costs to your citation for jail and crime lab fee, the county, the state, everybody kind of collects a little bit out of it. So what the forfeiture range on this is effectively between $700 and $1,000. You understand that?
Yes.
If you're found guilty, you also have to attend an alcohol and drug assessment. 6 points would be assessed against your license, and you'll be facing a driver's license revocation period of between 6 and 9 months. Now, the revocation means the period, this is how I determine that. If you're 1.5 or lower, I do it at 6 months. If you're 0.15 to 0.2, you're 7. If you're above a 0.2, it's 8. And if there's any bad driving or an accident, I add a month to that total. So that's how I arrive at the 6 to 9 months revocation. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. Okay, let's see. I've talked about the forfeiture. I've talked about the AOD points. In addition, if your blood alcohol content is above a 1.5, the state mandates I order an interlock ignition device be imposed on your vehicle on your driver's license and all vehicles registered in your name for a period of 12 months. I don't really have any control over that. That's mandated by a state statute for 1.5 or higher. In addition, you also will be surcharged $50 for that as well. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you're facing a second citation for prohibited alcohol concentration. That means that you are operating a motor vehicle with a prohibited alcohol concentration of greater than 0.08. The citation listed as greater than 0.15. So the same penalties would apply. You know, the forfeiture range of $861, forfeiture range of between $700 and $1,000. AODA requirements, 6 points assessed against your driver's license, a 6 to 9 month driver's license revocation. And if you're above a 1.5, I have to order an interlock ignition device, surcharge of $50, and that an interlock ignition device goes on all vehicles registered in your name and any vehicles you drive for a period of 12 months. Okay, you understand all that again?
Yes, I do.
Okay, now there are double set of penalties, but I can only impose the penalties on one. So in other words, I listed that twice, but you only would get penalized on one of the citations.
Okay.
So that would be the total of it then. In addition, with the IID, it's the 12 month starts when you get what the DOT calls a new product, either an occupational license or a valid driver's license. In other words, you can't just wait a year and then sit it out and then apply it. That only applies once you get either an occupational or a regular driver's license. Do you understand that as well?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. I talked about this, the forfeiture range, the nature of the citations. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay. Tonight is plea night. You enter a plea. The 3 plea options are guilty, which means you're admitting your guilt. I'll review the police report, find you guilty, and impose an appropriate forfeiture. A no contest plea means that you're not admitting guilt, but you want it to be over with today, I'll review the police report, find you guilty, and impose the appropriate forfeiture. Or a not guilty plea. A not guilty plea means that you don't believe the city could meet their elements or that you're not guilty of these citations. What I do for that is I schedule a pretrial conference with the prosecutor, see if you can resolve the case short of a trial. If you can, both parties submit the stipulation to me, and I will see if I approve it. Or if you can't resolve it, we schedule it for trial. That was a lot of information I threw at you, but do you understand the pleas, your plea options?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you understand you can plead guilty, no contest, or not guilty, correct?
Yes.
Okay. With that, now's the time I take your plea. What is your plea to the OWI and PAC citations?
No contest.
Okay, you understand with a no contest plea, I must find you guilty?
Yes.
All right, let me read the police report. I want to make sure I have a factual basis for your plea.
Okay.
I'm still reviewing the police report. It's quite lengthy. Okay, Ms. Lawler, I have reviewed the police report. I do find a factual basis for your plea, accept your no contest plea, and find you guilty. Anything you'd like to say before I decide on a sentence?
No.
Okay. I do find the face amount of the citation to be appropriate. I'll order that you pay the $861.
Okay.
Do you need time to pay that?
Yes, I do.
How much time do you need?
Can we break it up? Can I do like 3 months?
Yeah, 3 months would be great. If you have any trouble with making payment in 3 months, there will be on the documents we send you, there'll be a court number. You can call the court and ask for more time, and I'll raise that to the prosecutor, and the prosecutor won't object to it, and we'll grant you more time.
Okay.
So $861. I will make the finding that your blood alcohol content was 0.18, which is above the IID limit. So I will note that there was no bad driving and there was no accident. So I'm going to order that your driver's license be revoked for 7 months. You'll have to attend an alcohol and drug assessment class. Your driver's license will be 6 points. And since you're above a 1.8, I must order an interlock condition device be installed in all vehicles registered in your name and all vehicles you drive for a period of 12 months. And there's a $50 surcharge with that as well. That brings a total to $911, and we'll give you 3 months to pay. And I'll impose those on the OWI citation, and the PAC will be zero. Will not have any. The penalties will be on the OWI, not the PAC citation. So now, Ms. Lawler, what will happen is will be required to sign. We'll send you some paperwork. You're required as soon as you receive that or within 72 hours to sign up for an assessment. Now make sure that you do that, because if you don't, you'll never be able to get either your driver's license back or your occupational back. So make sure that you call that number right away. You'll attend the assessment, and then you'll probably likely to do some follow-up counseling on both the effects of alcohol and your driving behavior and how that affects your life as well. So there'll be some counseling in addition to that. Let's see, we'll have that, give you the forfeiture number. We'll also give you some information on occupational license. You're also sent some information on the interlock condition device as well. There's various
Okay.
places that have that, and you just kind of follow the instructions. Each county has a number of registered places, garages, so to speak, where you can get the IID installed.
Okay.
Mary, any information that I'm missing? Okay, shaking her head no. All right, Miss Lawler, what did you learn?
If not to drink and drive at
Okay.
all, even if it's one drink.
Okay, exactly. Sometimes the drinks catch up on you as well. Anything else?
Nope.
Judge,
Yes.
she had mentioned she'd like to break it up. She can make any payment throughout that 3-month period if she wants to, send small amounts throughout that time period, as long as the total is paid by that due date.
Okay. Do you understand that, Miss Lawler?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Yes, just be careful because if you receive another OWI within 10 years, it will be considered criminal and there'll be a mandatory jail time along with it then.
Okay.
So please be careful. With that, we'll send you the information, and if you don't have any further questions, you can go ahead and hang up.
Alrighty. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Miss Lawler.
Yep.
Okay, number 3 is Zach Hubert.
Mr. Hubert, you're muted. If you can kindly unmute yourself.
I'm trying to notify him. Let me just see.
Oh, he was the one that was on before.
Yeah, we lost him at one point.
Mr. Hubert? Did we lose him again?
He's there. I wonder if he's not sure how to unmute.
If you're on a cell phone and you want to unmute,
There he
star
is.
6.
He's
All right.
Okay, I figured it out. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. So we're all learning this at the same time. So,
Yeah.
all right, Mr. Hubert, let me pull up your information. Do I have your correct address on Moline Street in Stoughton?
Yes.
All right. You received 4 citations. Let me discuss the simpler ones first. You received a citation called disorderly conduct with a motor vehicle. That citation carries a penalty of $124. Do you understand what disorderly conduct with a motor vehicle is?
Yes.
Okay. Forfeiture range on that is $20 to $1,000. So the minimum forfeiture on that, we have to add costs to all these, but the minimum forfeiture on that, actually will be $92.50. You're at $50 plus costs. You're on the low end of the scale. You understand that as well?
Yes.
Okay. And that's 0 points issued your driver's license. The second citation you have is operating motor vehicle without proof of insurance. You understand the nature of that citation?
Yes.
That means you have proof of insurance in your car. That citation is $10. Okay. Now your other 2, were you able to hear what the previous pretrial conferences?
Yes.
Okay. So you're also facing with an OWI and a PAC citation. I use the shorthand. OWI means operating a motor vehicle while under the influence of an intoxicant. Now, the penalties for an OWI are as follows. Do you understand what OWI is?
Yes.
Okay. The elements are operating a motor vehicle while under the influence of intoxicant on highways of the state or premises held up for the public use. Operating with prohibited alcohol concentration means operating or driving a vehicle with a prohibited alcohol concentration on either city highways or premises held up for the public use. Now, the penalties for an OWI or PAC are the same, but I can only charge you for one. So in other words, you're facing an $861 forfeiture. I can't double that to $1,700. It stays at $861. So even though he has both of those listed, I can only penalize you on either the PAC or OWI citations. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, with the OWI, the penalties are as follows. The face amount of citation is $861. The forfeiture range on this is $150 to $300, but there's a mandatory assessment fee of $355, and they add other fees and costs to other governmental units. So the forfeiture range on this is effectively 700 to about 1,000. So you're about in the middle. Do you understand the forfeiture range and the forfeiture you're facing?
Yes.
All right. In addition, if you're found guilty, you have to attend an alcohol and drug assessment class and the required follow-up. Understand that?
Yes.
You're also facing 6 points issued your driver's license. And then you're facing a driver's license revocation of 6 to 9 months. Now, for 6 to 9 months, if it's a 1.5 or lower, that's 6 months. If you're a 1.5 to a 0.2, it's 7. If you're above at 0.2, it's 8. And if there's any bad driving or an accident, I add 1 month to that time period. That's how I arrive. That's my scale for the 6 to 9 months. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. In addition, if your blood alcohol content is a 0.15 or higher, the state mandates that I order an interlock ignition device be installed and all vehicles registered in your name, or any vehicles you may drive for a period of 12 months. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. In addition to the ID requirement, would also surcharge you $50 as well. Both of those are mandatory by the states and really out of my hands. Understand that as well?
Yes.
And when I say out of my hands, they're required. It's a requirement of the statutes. Okay. So and the penalties are the same for the PAC, the $861, the $700 to $1,000 range, 6 to 9 month driver's license revocation, AODA, 6 points, the ID, and the $50 surcharge. They're both the same. I can penalize you on the one.
Okay.
Now that completes my introduction, my explanation for these citations. You were here present earlier for the pleas. I take pleas we're here to take a plea tonight. But first of all, I have to ask you, do you have any other questions regarding your citations?
No.
Okay. Now, then it's time to take a plea. Your 3 plea options are guilty, no contest, or not guilty. Guilty means that you're admitting your guilt and you want me to find you guilty. No contest means you're not admitting guilt, but you want to get over with, and I'll likely find you guilty. And a not guilty plea means that you don't believe the city could prove their case or that you're not guilty. I schedule the matter for a pretrial conference before trial to see if it's resolved. If not, we set it for a trial. If it is, the prosecutor submits the terms for me for my approval. Okay. You understand the pleas?
Yes.
All right. Now is the time I take your plea. Their 3 plea options are guilty, no contest, or not guilty.
No contest.
You understand with no contest plea, I'll likely find you guilty.
Yes.
And that will be to all 4 citations.
Yes.
All right. Let me read the police report. I want to make sure I have a factual basis for your plea. Just a long police report. It just takes me a while to read it.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Hubert, I have read the police reports. I do find a factual basis for your plea, accept your no contest plea, and find you guilty of all 4 citations. Anything that you like to say before I decide on a sentence?
No.
Okay, I'll make the following findings. I'll make the findings that your blood alcohol content was a 0.22. I'll make the findings that although you were spinning your tires, I don't find this enough to give you another month driver's license revocation. Since you're already being penalized for that and the disorderly conduct of a motor vehicle. I'll find you guilty of the disorderly, I found you guilty of the disorderly conduct with a motor vehicle, but I'll impose the face amount of the citation of $124. I will also find the GDM insurance. I'll impose the $10 citation for that as well. For the 0.22, you're above a 0.2, so your driver's license revocation will be 8 months. It won't be 9 because I will find that the driving was already penalized through that disorderly conduct of a motor vehicle. I do find the $861 forfeiture to be appropriate. You'll have to attend alcohol and drug assessment class. You'll also be assessed 6 points. And since your blood alcohol content was above 1.15, I will find that all vehicles registered in your name and all vehicles you drive within a period of 12 months to order that an IID be installed on those 2 conditions. Also, that will surcharge you $50. Let's see, so that's 911 plus 124, that's 1,035. It's $1,045 by my math. Mary, if you want to check that. Mr. Hubert, how much time do you need to pay for the 1,045?
Would 3 months be okay?
Yeah, if you need more time than that, that's fine, but I will find 3 months to be acceptable for that, and I'll note that for the record. Let's see, I'll pose the penalties on the OWI. And again, the 12-month IID period, that begins when you apply for a new product according to DOT. So it'd be either an occupational license or a new license. You can't sit it out for 12 months and then expect it to disappear. You have to actually install it, and then once you install it, then the period begins. You understand that?
Okay. Yeah, not entirely. Do I get will I get mail
Yes.
explaining all this?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll send you mail, and there will be in that mailing there will be information regarding the occupational license. Oh, before I forget, there will be information regarding signing up for the assessment. You're required to do that within 72 hours once you receive that, so do that right away.
Okay.
$72. You'll also get information on the IID as well as an occupational license.
Okay.
And then we'll send all that and give you 90 days to pay. Make sure they pay attention to that. So look for the mail. So when you receive that, you know what to do.
Okay.
Now, anything else, Mary? Did I cover everything? Okay.
Yep.
Mr. Hubert, what did you learn?
I never drink and drive
Okay. And why not?
because it ruins people's lives.
Okay. In addition, I have something else that I think you should learn.
Yeah.
That if you're in danger of receiving an OWI ticket, you probably shouldn't be spinning your tires in the high school parking lot.
Yeah.
Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of drew attention to yourself as well. So,
Yep.
okay. Just be careful from now on. I want to make sure that, because if you get another one within 10 years, it's a criminal penalty and there's mandatory jail time. So,
Okay.
okay. Well, good luck to you, sir. If no further questions, you can go ahead and hang up.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hubert.
Next person is Sage Schaff. I'm just checking to have her unmute. I could send them a message to let them know to do that.
*6, right?
It just says ask to unmute.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what she has. There she is.
Okay. Let me get back there. Okay, this is Sage Schaff.
Yep, this is.
All right, Ms. Schaff, this is Matt Rothian, the municipal judge for Stoughton. Okay, you have an OWI. Let me pull up your reports. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay, no from record. She's appearing via audio, but not video for Zoom.
Yep.
Let me pull up your reports. That way I can get your information. Mary, I'm not seeing her report in my documents. Mary, I don't have a copy of the police report. Is that?
There was an issue at the last minute with her report, so I'm gonna put it in your file if you don't mind closing it, and then I'll get it in there.
Okay, sure.
Let
I'm
you
sorry
know.
for the delay, Ms. Schaaf. Let me, I'm
I'll
gonna
let you
close
know
my
it's
file out.
in there.
All right, I'll close it out. Still kept Zoom, still connected. Okay. Ms. Schaaf, we're all still learning the system a little bit, so it takes a little bit sometimes. So my apologies.
It's okay, don't worry.
Has your address changed in the last couple of months?
No, it's still Center Avenue.
Okay, that was
There
gonna be,
now.
all
It
right,
should be in there now.
okay. That's the first question I ask, because usually we'll send you a notice almost or either way. So I was want to make sure I have the correct address for people. There it is. Wow, technology is great when it works. Okay, I do have a Center Avenue address. Okay, Ms. Schaaf, you also cited for operating while under the influence of an intoxicant. You were probably present during the last couple, but I'll still review everything else as well. Ms. Schaaf, you're facing two citations, one for operating while under the influence and the other for operating with a prohibited alcohol concentration. Now, do you understand what operating while under the influence is?
Yeah.
Okay, it's basically known as drunk driving. And there's two citations for drunk driving. One is that you were under the influence of an intoxicant, and the other is that you had a prohibited alcohol concentration of greater than 0.08 for a first offense. So, now you received two citations, but I can find you guilty of both, but I can only penalize you on one. And the penalties for both will be as follows. There's a $150 to $300 forfeiture range on this. However, we have to add a mandatory assessment surcharge of $355 and associated court costs and fees. If you're found guilty, that brings the total up between $700 and $1,000. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. In your listed citation is $861. It's about in the middle of the range. You understand that as well?
Yep.
Okay. In addition, there's the reason why I ask a lot of questions, especially via Zoom, I always want to make sure I establish a clear record that everybody has an understanding of what these citations are about. Now, the next step would be there's a 6 to 9 month driver's license revocation. And I follow a consistent chart on this. So if you're a 1.5 or higher, that usually, or 1.5 or lower than a 1.5, that's a 6 month driver's license revocation. If you're 1.5 to 0.2, that's 6 or 7, 6 and then 7. If you're above a 0.2, that's 8. And if there's any bad driving, I add a month to that total. That's how I arrived at 6 to 9 month driver's license revocation. Do you understand that?
I do understand.
Okay, good. In addition, if you're also found guilty, you have to attend an alcohol and drug assessment class and a required counseling follow-up, and 6 points will be issued your driver's license. Understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay. In addition, if your blood alcohol content was a 1.5 or higher, the state mandates that I order an interlock ignition device be installed on all vehicles registered in your name and all vehicles that you drive for a period of 12 months. There's also a $50 surcharge. You understand that as well?
I do.
Okay. You know what an IID, an interlock ignition device is?
Yep. Yes, I do.
Okay. And again, that's something that you can't sit out. You can't just say, I'm not going to drive for a year and then I'm clear of that. The 12 months starts whenever you apply for your next DOT product, which will either be an occupational license or a regular license. Understand that as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I've gone through all the penalties. Do you have any questions regarding those penalties?
I do not.
Okay. This is an initial appearance. This is what we call plea night. You have 3 plea options: guilty, no contest, or not guilty. Now, a guilty plea means that you're admitting guilt. You want me to find you guilty and impose the appropriate forfeitures. A no contest plea means that you're not admitting guilt, but you still want to get it over with tonight. And upon my review of the police report, I'll find you guilty as well. A not guilty plea means that you believe that the city couldn't prove the case or that you're not guilty of the citation. In that case, I schedule the matter for pretrial conference with the city attorney. That way you can meet and then see if you can resolve it. If you can't resolve it, it gets scheduled for trial. If you do resolve it, the prosecutor or the city attorney will submit the agreed upon stipulation to me. Understand your 3 plea options?
Yes, I do.
Okay, now's the time I take your plea. Your 3 plea options are guilty, no contest, or not guilty.
I plead no contest, Your Honor.
Okay, you understand with a no contest plea, after my review of the police report, I'll likely find you guilty?
Yes.
All right, let me review the police report. I want to make sure I have a factual basis for your plea. Now, it's going to take me a little bit. These OWI reports are usually 5 to 10 pages long.
Oh, okay.
Still reviewing it. Okay, Ms. Schaaf, I have read the police report. I do find a factual basis for your plea, accept your no contest plea and find you guilty. Anything you'd like to say before I decide on a sentence?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I will make the findings that your blood alcohol content was a 0.22. However, I will make the finding that you were not, there was no bad driving. That level is an 8-month driver's license revocation. I'll make the finding that the $861 forfeiture was appropriate. Since you're above a 1.5 at 2.2, I will have to order an interlock ignition device be installed on all vehicles registered in your name and for a period of 12 months, and any vehicle that you might drive during that 12-month period as well. I'll add that $50 surcharge, so the total amount owing will be $911. How much time do you need to pay for the $911?
Could I have a month, maybe, please?
I'll give you 60 days, 2 months.
Okay.
If you need more time than that, let me know. Let the court know. But 2 months, we'll start off at 2 months and see if it can be paid in full.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, it's 9/11. So the court will also, you have to attend an alcohol drug assessment and the required follow-up, and 6 points will be assessed against your driver's license as well. Now we will send you information about the alcohol and drug assessment. When you get that, call that number right away because you're required to sign up within 72 hours.
Okay.
You also get information on the IID or interlock ignition device and an occupational license, as well as information on how to pay for the forfeiture.
Okay.
So that's why we'll mail it to that address. Okay, any questions for me?
No, I don't have any.
What did you learn?
It was a very reckless and stupid decision. Obviously, I definitely learned my lesson. You know, it's not worth it, and I'm just thankful that nobody else was involved.
Right.
You know, like it could have been worse. I'm happy it wasn't.
Right. That's a good answer. I think it's more sincere than a lot of the answers that I've had. So I'm pleased to hear that. Something else, if you get caught within the next 10 years, it's a criminal offense and you'll be facing mandatory jail time as well.
Okay.
Something to think about. So, okay, we'll send you that information. Any other questions for me?
Not that I can think of, no.
Okay, we'll send that information. If anything else comes up, just call the number on the form and you'll talk to my clerk, Mary.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. That will conclude today's initial appearance. You can go ahead and hang up. She did.
Sorry, I muted myself.
You got 3 sentences in before I could hear you.
Yeah, I did. There was another OWI and OCS that was supposed to appear but did not. You may want to just review that right away.
I will.
Okay.
What was the defendant's name?
Richard Proctor, Proctor.
Yeah, when you said there were 4 of them, so,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, operating with a controlled substance, so.
That was the final ticket, and I don't understand. He issued 2 OWIs initially, and then this final one after the blood result came in. So I assume that was the one you were most concerned about. And the blood test results are in the file.
Okay, yeah, let me take a look at this.
Okay.
Just a minute, this is gonna take me a while too.
Yeah, that's a confusing one.
But just sometimes the fact pattern can be complicated.
Mhm.
Okay. Yep, so it was submitted, whenever there's no alcohol, it gets submitted again. I don't know if you're aware of that or not.
Again, to who?
So if it comes, they submit it to the State Lab of Hygiene. If there's no
Oh,
alcohol, it
oh,
comes
yeah,
back and
that-
then it has to be submitted again.
Okay.
Okay, there's the Delta 9. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Okay, so I've had that, so controlled substance. Are there 3 separate citations?
That's, that's what I'm saying. I didn't understand why they did 2 initially. But I think the third one, the OCS, is the main one that we need
Right. So here's what I'm going to find the defendant guilty of operating with a controlled substance. I'm also going to find the defendant guilty of operating while under the influence, but I'm only going to find him guilty of one of those. There's a separate citation issued. One is BF 106769-5. The other is BF 106759-2. There's a duplicate of OWI. On the court's own motion, I'll find that that was an error because it was. Let's see. So both of these were occurred on the same day. I'm going to, on the court's own motion, it's going to dismiss the OWI second because I'm going to find that one, the court doesn't have jurisdiction. 2, I'll treat that as a scrivener's error and dismiss that OWI. So I'll find him guilty of both the operating with a controlled substance and the OWI. I'll find that Delta 9 was present in the blood. However, since there's no measurement of the Delta 9, which is the active ingredient marijuana, I'll give a 6-month driver's license revocation. There's no IID penalty on this because it's blood. It's only for 1.5 or higher. So 6-month DL revocation. I'll find that the $861 forfeiture is appropriate. AODA requirements in 6 points and no IID. So the one of the OWIs, the second one will be dismissed. The reason why I do that, Mary, if we submit all these, one, they will probably find his DOT record that he's convicted of a second offense, which is not true. And I don't have that jurisdiction anyway. So I'll treat it like it's a scrivener's error and then dismiss that second OWI. Okay. And I'll give him, since he didn't appear tonight, I'll give him 60 days to pay.
Okay. All right.
May make sure that both OWIs were issued on the same date. Yep. Same date and time. So you can't have more than one arising out of the same incident. So that's, I feel confident in my decision.
All right.
Okay. Now, let's be ready to go through all these. We're good.
Yeah, if you want to default everybody and just go to the pleas, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, why don't we default everybody?
Okay. There's just first one would be Corson Bruce.
What about, oh, you're right, Corson Bruce. Yeah, we'll default or forfeit the bond on the rest, depending on as appropriate. Thank you.
Okay.
Corson.
I did provide proof that he reinstated.
Okay, he reinstated. Okay. He reinstated on the Brown registration. I'll find that it was the
next day.
Yeah, mix up. So the court on its own motion will dismiss the non-registration auto citation. Next should be Isaac Hansen.
You're right. He also, I think, no, he just, never mind. Sorry. There's another one that provided proof of registration. It's the next one. This is a speeding.
Okay. Oh, you did it with the email.
Jumping the gun here.
Okay. Speedometer was off. He just bought it. I'll give him a 10-mile leeway. He was going 98, 80, 13 over. I'll reduce that to 9, 3 points instead of 4. Same forfeiture with 60 days to pay.
Okay. So the next person, Horwith, he did provide proof. He entered a not guilty plea, but he did provide proof, and I verified that he did reinstate.
All right, let me verify this. So even better than okay, not guilty. Okay, there it is. So court on its own mission will dismiss it. We'll ignore the not guilty plea because it's already, case has already been dismissed.
Next one is Hannah Lawrence. I spoke with her mother. They were a little confused, so I think you may want to
Take a look at this.
read the plea sheet. Yeah, probably a not guilty.
Yeah, definitely not guilty.
Okay.
Chad Littacode is the next one.
Right, speeding.
I get a login information, but I just hit cancel and it kicks me out of that, so it's good. All right, so just kind of a plea for leniency.
Right.
$11 over, I'll reduce that to $9 over, which is 3 points instead of 4. Same forfeiture with 60 days. 60 days to pay.
All right. The next one, he didn't give an explanation. Scott Miller, he just entered a not guilty plea, but it is a speeding.
It says no contest on here.
Or, no, I'm sorry, no contest. Speeding.
See, the Illinois drivers, they get a driver safety class. So if they attend a 3-hour session, they get the first one kicked. So, but we don't have that in Wisconsin. 19 over, I'll reduce that to 9, 3 points instead of 4, same forfeiture, 60 days to pay.
And then just Salek, S-A-L-E-K, speeding again.
Okay. He even uses the word leniency. Give him 10-mile leeway. Let's see. 16 over, reduce that to 9 over, 3 points, same forfeiture, 124 with 60 days to pay.
The last one is Wiedeword. I'm not sure if that description was deleted on yours, but it's unsafe backing. He entered no contest, but did not give an explanation. So I don't know if you want to do a not guilty.
Yeah, why don't we do a not guilty plea?
Okay. And that's it.
Okay. Got that done. You sent in information on collections. Let me pull that out.
We're on live TV, just so you're aware.
Oh, let's talk about it tomorrow then.
Okay.
Remind me tomorrow. So shoot me an email if you haven't heard from me by noon. So I'm out on Friday. Actually, I'm out on Friday. I'm going to the judicial seminar, but just Sunday.
Okay.
Or Friday only.
Okay. All
All the
right.
credits I need. So
Okay.
I will call you on it on
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Mary. Have a good night.
You too.